Hey guys, this is Brandon from Top Rack Bank Trading. So today we're going to talk about speed versus accuracy, right? So when it comes to shooting, there's two methods that most people adopt, right? They either go for speed and hope to learn accuracy eventually, and other people would go for accuracy and hopefully they get proficient enough to go for speed. So when you're training, you need to put context into the split times, the accuracy that you're trying to attain. Right, so let's take an example. The standard out there is an A zone, right? So which would be right here, okay? So what they say is that as long as the rounds, let's say you're shooting a 5-round string of fire, as long as the rounds are within the A zone, right, and they don't go outside the A zone, that's considered acceptable marksmanship. The problem is that some people, and including myself back then, are addicted to putting rounds on top of each other with no context into it, right? I would go into a 5-yard line, have all my rounds touching in the center of this target, right? Leaving the rest of the A zone clean, but I would be doing it at a time that is not good or is extremely slow. You need to find the balance, right? How fast can I get 5 to 6, 7, however many rounds you have into this A zone without any round landing outside and making sure that it's a decent amount of time, okay? Because if you land everything here in 10 seconds at 5 yards, that's obviously not good. How do you attain that training, right? Yes, obviously from time to time, check yourself, right? Can I put rounds on top of each other? Absolutely. No time, no challenge. Just get 5 rounds and stack them on top of each other. But it's also pertinent for you to set a time standard. Let's call it 2 seconds, right, in 5 yards, and make sure all those rounds are within this A zone, right? That's a good way for you to train and to keep yourself honest, because in a defensive situation, stacking rounds is not good as well, but also taking your time is also not good. All right, now we're at the range and we're gonna demo the difference between speed priority and an accuracy priority, right? So as we all know, the faster you shoot, the less accuracy you have, right, on target in terms of your grouping. And then the slower you shoot, right, you know, keeping the same fundamentals, the tighter group that's going to be. But it's all context, right? Because it depends the distance on your target and how much time you have. So let's go. So I'm going to start with pistol at a realistic pistol range, right? So I'm going to aim at this 9 zone right here, right? And I'm going to get a good group. I'm going to get like a second split. Right. So as you can see, everything is on a tight little small hole, right? Which is, in terms of context, good, that's good to go. But when you come to think about it, right? If this was the torso of the target, I'm kind of placing my shots in this little area right here. But is that effective though? Probably not, right? Because you need to be able to open up. At this distance right here, my error point is actually pretty big, right? In terms of shooting in the upper thoracic area. So I'm gonna speed up to where my grouping is now gonna open up. So come up, still in there, let's speed up. Okay, come on up here real quick. So, right, as earlier, right, on super slow fire, I was able to put everything on this line right here, okay? As I sped up, yes, it opened up around the outer circle, but I'm still at a very effective cone of fire, right, at this distance. Now, if this is how fast I am at about 5 yards per se, you gotta take into account, what if I'm shooting at 25 yards, right? This might be the whole body of the target, and that could also be bad, right? So everything is context. So let's do rifle. Right, so I'm gonna shoot the headshot now, right? At this distance, there shouldn't be any issue of me keeping the rifle on target, right? I'll shoot 2 rounds. Actually, let's shoot the headshot, right? Right. At super slow fire with a rifle at 5 yards, I don't know if you can see that grouping, but it's ridiculously close, right? Is that effective rifle fire at this distance? Probably not, right? Because you're stacking your rounds unnecessarily. So let's go speed up. So if you come close, I sped up and it went from each round touching each other, right, into it being about, what is this, about half an inch apart. You know what I mean? This is what I mean though, right? Losing accuracy for speed doesn't necessarily mean you're missing on the target. That's not the point of this exercise. The point of this exercise is to recognize how much error do I have, right? Because sure, is slow fire effective on target? Yes, you're more accurate, but do you have time to be that accurate to where each one of your round is touching, right? But that's up to your training, that's up to your context, right? If you're a law enforcement officer at 100 yards, right, you need to take down a hostage target, then that's different, right? Your speed may be slower versus a law enforcement officer shooting at this distance right here, right? So everything is context.
Make sure you like our videos and subscribe to our channel. We put a lot of content out there. We drop a video every Tuesday for your viewing pleasure. And we vary up the content so that way we stay relevant for you.